Hi! Now I've done a couple of videos on AI vocals from Audimee already, as I think they can be a great help for home studios like myself, as they provide access to a great variety of voices that you can use for leads, background vocals, etc. And they even have a special kind of AI vocals that sound even more real and which you can treat and process much more like a real vocal. So let's have a look at that and let's go! Now Audimee is an online AI vocal platform which allows you to convert a vocal recording to one of their AI voices. And they have a great variety of AI voices available for many different styles. So previously I have, for example, already made videos about how I convert my own vocal and I can't really sing to one of their AI vocals, or how you can use them for background vocals and much more. If you want to check out those videos, I will link them in the description. But if you already know what Audimee is and just want to get to the good stuff in this video, check out the chapters in the description below, because then you can skip this intro. Because if you have never heard about Audimee, I will shortly show you the platform and then explain about their so-called unprocessed voices. Now thank you very much to Audimee for sponsoring this video and supporting the channel in this way. It really helps me to keep making all of these videos for you. Well, let's have a quick look at their AI vocal platform if you've never heard of Audimee. Because this is their website and I will not go into all of the details, but their main section is the Convert Vocals section, which allows you to convert a vocal recording that you already made. So you have to start from a certain vocal recording and then you can convert that vocal recording to one of their AI voices. And for example, over here you can select which AI voice you want to convert to. And as you can see, they have many different voices. You can filter on those voices. Maybe only show female voices, for example. And you can also listen to these voices with these play buttons over here, which all helps you in selecting the right voice. Now, before you can do a conversion, you need to supply an input here. And I have now already put an input in here of the first song that we're going to try this on, which is a vocal from a singer on Fiverr for a pop production that I'm doing. So if you listen to that.
In the shadows, afraid to let my light shine, but now I'm stepping into the spotlight.
Now I've selected Nicole here for the conversion, and if you scroll down over here you can push convert to actually convert this vocal to an AI vocal. Now I've already done this and the output sounds like this.
I used to hide in the shadows, afraid to let my light shine, but now I'm stepping into the spotlight, breaking free from my own mind.
Yeah, so in this way you can convert your original vocal recordings to all of these AI vocals. In this example, I'm converting a female vocal to another female vocal, but you could also, for example, convert this to a male vocal and get very good results with that as well. Now, the specific subject of this video is the fact that Audimee also has so-called unprocessed vocals, meaning vocals that are more similar to what you get when you actually record a vocal without a lot of processing, like a lot of compression or EQ, for example. So if you want to have a more finished, fully processed vocal, they provide a lot of those as well. But they also provide many so-called unprocessed voices that give you a lot more control because you can do the processing yourself. And as an audio/mixing engineer, that's of course a great thing, because it means you can use all your tricks and techniques of the trade that you would also use on a normally recorded vocal. So more control is one thing. Additionally, these unprocessed vocals also get around some of the drawbacks of AI-generated vocals, which is sometimes that high-pitched squeal that you hear in the high end when you're working with an AI-generated vocal. These unprocessed vocals are a way to get around that. So let's have a look at how you can get access to those unprocessed vocals on Audimee. And it's actually quite easy, because here in the selection of AI voices that you want to convert to, if I turn off the female filter, you can see that there's also a filter for unprocessed voices. And now all of these voices that you see over here, if you convert your vocal recording to one of these voices, you get a file which you can basically do your own processing on, and that gives you much more control. Let's have a quick listen to some of these. We already heard Nicole, which I used in that previous example.
I talk bullshit a lot, no more fuck shit, I'm done. Damn right, I'm the one. Damn.
Something's got a hold on me lately, though I don't know myself anymore.
Or maybe Julia's over here.
Away. OT, OT, there's never much love when we go OT. I pray to...
Or maybe Brandon over here for more country, folk, Americana music.
You couldn't give a reason for...
They also have some more Latin sounding unprocessed voices. So I also tried this on a vocal from that Fiverr singer that I was talking about before for quite an elaborate pop production. And I converted that to the unprocessed voice of Nicole. So this was the original vocal.
I used to hide in the shadows, afraid to let my light shine. But now I'm stepping into the spotlight, breaking free from my own mind.
And this is the AI vocal by Nicole.
I used to hide in the shadows, afraid to let my light shine. But now I'm stepping into the spotlight, breaking free from my own mind.
So let's have a look at the quite elaborate processing that I did on this in Cubase. Let's have a short listen with the processed voice of Nicole in this case.
I used to hide in the shadows, afraid to let my light shine. But now I'm stepping into the spotlight, breaking free from my own mind. I've been through the fire, I walked through the rain. But every song has made me stronger, it's helped me find my own way. I'm unstoppable, I'm a force that can't be contained. I'll rise above the noise, I won't let anything hold me back. I'm gonna seize the moment, gonna live like there's no tomorrow. I'm unstoppable, I'm unstoppable.
So let's have a look at what I did on this vocal to get it to sound like this. And that's quite a lot actually. Because over here you can see all the processing that I did on this. And then this channel goes to LeadVox Sum. And on LeadVox Sum, I have again a load of processing. So let's actually start by turning off all this processing so you can get an idea of how it transforms the sound. So this is the bare vocal of Nicole.
I used to hide in the shadows, afraid to let my light shine.
Well, my first plugin is the SSL 360 Link plugin, but that's more to get it to work with my SSL UF1 controller. It's not actually doing anything. Then I have NConsole on there to get it up to a level, but it was actually already at a decent level, so it's not really doing anything either. Then ProQ3 is on there, just with a high pass filter, as I would do on a normal vocal recording to get rid of some of the low end.
I used to hide in the shadows, afraid to let my light shine.
Then there's a compressor on there, fast attack, fast release, 4:1.
I used to hide in the shadows, afraid to let my light shine. But now I'm stepping into the spotlight, breaking free from my own mind.
Quite a lot of compression, as you can see. Then there's a pull deck on there to emphasize a bit of 5K. And I'm slightly pulling out some high end over here, I see.
I used to hide in the shadows, afraid to let my light shine. But now I'm stepping into the spotlight, breaking free from my...
Now it's getting quite sharp by now. So next up, I put in a de-esser.
I used to hide in the shadows, afraid to let my light shine. But now I'm stepping into the spotlight, breaking free from my own mind.
First step of de-essing to get rid of some of those harsh sounds. Next up is a vocal rider to even out some of the lines.
I used to hide in the shadows, afraid to let my light shine. But now I'm stepping into the spotlight, breaking free from my own mind.
Then we're getting to the LVOX Sum channel, which again has an SSL 360 plugin on there for my UF1, but it's not really changing the sound. Then there's another compressor, a CL1B on there.
I used to hide in the shadows, afraid to let my light shine. But now I'm stepping into the spotlight, breaking free from my own mind.
Really controls and compresses it a lot, as you can see. Next up, there's a Mach EQ, mainly for a bit of that airband gain.
I used to hide in the shadows, afraid to let my light shine.
Followed by a Pro MB, which selectively tames that high end again, as a sort of a de-esser.
I used to hide in the shadows, afraid to let my light shine. But now I'm stepping into the spotlight, breaking free from my own mind.
Yeah, so sort of a continuous chain to get that really silky high end of a pop vocal in there, but at the same time also trying to tame the harsh S's. Next up, well, another compressor, the Smart EQ4 I see over here.
I used to hide in the shadows, afraid to let my light shine. But now I'm stepping into the spotlight, breaking free from my own mind.
Some more subtle changes provided by the AI in Smart EQ. Then a free plugin from Slate Audio, Fresh Air, to again add a more silky top end.
I used to hide in the shadows, afraid to let my light shine. But now I'm stepping into the spotlight, breaking free from my own mind.
Yeah, I know it may sound a bit overdone when you're listening to the voice in solo, but I'll let you listen to it in the track again in a minute, and then I feel it's quite fitting. Next up, yet another EQ, Apparently I still heard some frequency areas which I did not like.
I used to hide in the shadows, afraid to let my light shine. But now I'm stepping into the spotlight, breaking free from my own mind.
Pulling out some low mids at 500 Hz and pulling out some high mids at around 4 kHz. Then there's some more taming on the vocal. One is a clipper.
I used to hide in the shadows, afraid to let my light shine. But now I'm stepping into the spotlight, breaking free from my own mind. I've been through the fire.
Yeah, it's not really clipping a lot except those occasional peaks that slip through, which it reduces. And finally I see that I even put a limiter on the vocal. Let's see whether that still does anything.
I used to hide in the shadows, afraid to let my light shine. But now I'm stepping into the spotlight, breaking free from my own mind. I've been through the fire and walked through the rain.
Yeah, again, it catches some small peaks to further control the vocal. So yeah, an AI vocal with lots of processing on there, which eventually sounds like this.
I used to hide in the shadows, afraid to let my light shine. But now I'm stepping into the spotlight, breaking free from my own mind. I've been through the fire and walked through the rain. But every struggle's made me stronger. It's helped me find my own way. I'm unstoppable, I'm a force that can't be contained. I'll rise above the noise, I won't let anything hold me back. I'm gonna seize the moment, gonna live like there's no tomorrow. I'm unstoppable, I'm unstoppable.
Now before we take a look at a male unprocessed vocal, if you like this video or find it useful at all, please give it a big thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm so that it gets shown to more people. Subscribe to the channel and ring the little bell icon if you want to get notified when I publish another video. I also have many affiliate links in the description below, so if you're planning to buy anything at one of these stores and want to support the channel, if you click the link below before you make your purchase, I'll get a small commission without any additional cost to you. And I also have an affiliate link in the description if you want to subscribe to Audimee. Now let's have a look at a male unprocessed vocal in an entirely different style. Because this is a more country inspired track which I actually had generated by Suno, and I want to replace the vocal by an Audimee voice. So let's have a look. This is what the track sounds like.
There's a great state road in California. It's a great place to be uninformed. The clouds rise high and they form eyes, lightsayers and the different kinds.
Now as you can see, this Suno track actually consists of 2 channels in Cubase, and that's because I separated the stems. So this is the instrumental stem. And this is the vocal stem.
There's a great state road in California. It's a great place to be uninformed.
So there's not necessarily something wrong with this vocal, but you can hear, even when you combine the 2 tracks, that there's a bit of that high pitchiness of an AI generated vocal in there. So let's see what Audimee can do with this. So I exported that vocal stem from Cubase as a mono track because Audimee really wants mono vocal tracks as their input. And then you get this.
There's a great state road in California. It's a great place to be uninformed.
So you can hear quite a bit of separation artifacts in that vocal, but let's select an unprocessed voice from Audimee for conversion. And Brandon here should fit quite well for country, folk, Americana, and his voice is unprocessed. So let's select him. Now I did notice that there is some reverb and echo in this Suno stem, and there are also some background vocals in the chorus. So let's convert. And that sounds like this.
The clouds rise high and they form eyes, lightsayers and the different kinds.
Okay, let's download that and import it into Cubase and see what we can do with it. So this is that vocal in Cubase, and I have turned off my processing for now.
The clouds rise high and they form eyes, lightsayers and the different kinds.
So as you can hear, the artifacts from separating the stems in Suno have really largely gone. It's quite amazing actually. So let's start processing this vocal to make it fit into the instrumental. Because currently it sounds like this.
There's a great state road in California. It's a great place to be uninformed.
So it does require some polishing. Again, I put my end console on there, bring up the level a bit for the following plugins. Next up, a stable compressor.
It's a great place to be uninformed. The clouds rise high and they form eyes.
Quite a bit of compression. Let's put a bit of color EQ on there with the Kit BBN105 plugin. I added a bit of 10K, a bit of 4.7K, and there's a low cut filter around 82. See what that does.
It's a great place to be uninformed. The clouds rise high and they form eyes.
Next up, a bit more compression. Again with the TubeTech CL1B. I really like that one on vocals.
It's a great place to be uninformed. The clouds rise high and they form eyes, lightsayers and the different kinds.
Some more EQ processing, really bringing out that top level shine and killing a frequency at around 350, which I didn't like, and a low cut to get rid of the low end that we really don't need in this vocal.
It's a great place to be uninformed. The clouds rise high.
Next up, a bit of soothe to kill some resonances, and actually it also does a bit of de-essing.
It's a great place to be uninformed. The clouds rise high and they form eyes.
And finally a bit of reverb. Yeah, normally I wouldn't really do this as an insert on the channel, but it would be a sense to an effects track. But just for demonstration purposes, I put it as an insert on here. Let's have a listen.
It's a great place to be uninformed. The clouds rise high and they form eyes, lightsayers and the different kinds.
Yeah, so that's an example of the kind of processing I would do on this unprocessed vocal from Audimee to make it fit in the track a bit better. And I think this vocal sounds a lot more raw and appropriate than the one that Suno generated for this track. But let's have a listen to the full segment with the Audimee vocal in there.
There's a great state road in California. It's a great place to be uninformed. The clouds rise high and they form eyes, lightsayers and the different kinds. Hey California, we can leave right now. Hey California, more about a car, it's more than just the whereabouts.
Yeah, so as you can see, these unprocessed voices from Audimee really can take a lot of processing, probably need a lot of processing to fit them properly in the track, but you have a lot more control to do that compared to some of the fully processed voices already. So let me know in the comments how you feel about an AI vocal platform like Audimee and whether this particular feature could be useful to you. But of course, this is only a small part of their full vocal platform. For example, I've also used it to convert my own vocal and I can't really sing to one of their AI voices, which sounded a lot better. I will link that video over here. Check it out, enjoy, and see you soon.